What would you do if the glow of your wife's phone at 2:13 a.m. told you everything before you even touched it? The bedroom was silent except for the soft hum of the ceiling fan and the faint vibration of her phone against the wooden nightstand. She thought I was asleep. I kept my breathing slow, steady, practiced. Through barely open eyes, I watched her turn away from me, shielding the screen with her body like it held something sacred. Her face, soft, almost smiling, wasn't the face she wore for me anymore. Then the message lit up her screen again. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Same hotel. She froze. I froze harder. And in that second, before she even replied, I knew my life had already ended. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. She started caring about her looks only when she left the house. That's the detail that kept replaying in my head. At home, she wore loose sweatpants, hair tied in a careless bun, barely a glance in the mirror. But the moment she stepped out, full makeup, hair styled, perfume I hadn't smelled in months, new dresses I'd never seen before. At first, I thought maybe I'd been neglecting her. Maybe she wanted to feel seen again. So I tried. I booked dinner at a quiet Italian place on West 46th Street in Manhattan.
Candlelight. Wine.
The works. She showed up late, didn't apologize, kept checking her phone under the table. Everything okay?
I asked.
Work, she said flat. You wouldn't understand. I remember the waiter coming by, asking if we were celebrating anything. I almost laughed. Yeah, I said. Something like that. She didn't even look at me. That night, back in our apartment, she turned away from me in bed. No goodnight. No touch. Just distance. The next morning, she left early. Said she had a client meeting. She didn't come home until after 11 p.m. That's when the pattern started. Late nights. Secretive texts. Sudden work emergencies. Her phone always face down.
Password changed. And me?
I became invisible in my own home. But I wasn't stupid. I just needed proof. The first crack came a week later. She forgot her phone on the kitchen counter while she ran downstairs to grab a delivery.
It buzzed.
I stared at it for a long second, then picked it up.
Locked.
But the notification preview? Room 814 this time. Less crowded. My chest tightened so hard I thought I might pass out. She came back in before I could do anything else. I put the phone down exactly where it was. Who was that? I asked casually. Just work, she replied, grabbing it quickly. She didn't even blink. That was the moment I realized she wasn't just cheating. She was good at it.
Cold.
Calculated. And completely unafraid. That night, I sat in the dark living room while she slept, staring at nothing. I didn't cry. Not yet. Instead, I started thinking, if she wanted to play this game, I was going to learn the rules. The next few weeks, I became someone else. I stopped asking questions. Stopped caring, at least on the surface. I smiled. I nodded. I played the role of the oblivious husband perfectly. And behind the scenes, I started collecting everything. I installed a small camera in the living room, not for what she did there, but for what she said when she thought she was alone. I checked our shared credit card statements. That's where it got interesting. Recurring charges at a boutique hotel in Midtown. Same place. Different dates. I drove there one afternoon. It sat on a quiet street off Lexington Avenue. Clean, discreet, the kind of place no one asks questions. I sat in my car across the street for 3 hours. Then I saw her. She stepped out of a rideshare, dressed in a way I hadn't seen in months. Confident.
Alive.
And she wasn't alone. He was already waiting for her at the entrance.
Tall. Polished.
The kind of guy who thinks the world owes him something. He kissed her like I didn't exist. Like I never had. Something inside me broke right then. But I didn't move. I didn't confront them. I just watched. Because I knew something they didn't. They thought they were untouchable. That was their mistake. Over the next month, I built my case. Photos. Videos. Receipts.
Dates. Times.
Every lie she told, I documented. Every meeting, every excuse. I even hired a private investigator to follow them for a week. The report was thorough. Hotel records, surveillance footage, even audio of them laughing together in the parking garage. Laughing. That part stuck with me the most. While I sat at home wondering what I did wrong, she was laughing. That's when I stopped feeling like a victim and started becoming something else. Strategic. Ruthless. I met with a lawyer on Park Avenue. Quiet office. No judgment. I laid everything out. He leaned back in his chair, nodding slowly. "You've been thorough," he said. "This will go very well for you." I didn't smile. "This isn't about going well," I replied. "This is about ending it properly." We filed everything. Divorce papers, evidence attachments, financial protections. I made sure every asset was accounted for, every loophole closed. And then, I planned the ending. Her birthday. She decided to celebrate at a rooftop bar in Brooklyn. Invited friends, coworkers, even him. She didn't know I knew. I showed up late, just like she used to. She was laughing when I walked in, champagne in hand. That same smile she used to give me years ago. For a moment, I almost remembered who we were. Then I saw his hand on her waist, and that memory died. "Hey," she said, surprised. "You came." "Wouldn't miss it," I replied. I waited until the room settled, until everyone had a drink, until the music dipped just enough. Then I spoke. "Before we celebrate," I said, raising my glass, "I have something to share." She looked confused. Everyone turned. I pulled out a small remote, and behind me, the screen lit up. Photos, videos, hotel footage, receipts, messages. Her face drained of color instantly. "What are you doing?" she whispered. "Finishing something," I said calmly. The room was silent. People started murmuring. Some stepped back. Others stared at her like they didn't recognize her. Her friends, her coworkers, everyone. He slipped away quietly. "Coward." "Please stop," she said, her voice shaking. I looked at her, really looked at her for the first time in months. "No," I said softly. "You didn't stop." I handed her the envelope. "Divorce papers. Happy birthday," I added. Then I walked out. The next few weeks were efficient. The evidence crushed her in court. Financially, she lost almost everything. Socially, she lost more. Friends distanced themselves. Work became unbearable. Last I heard, she moved out of the city. No one followed. And me? I stayed. Same apartment. Same view. But everything felt quieter. Colder. Sometimes I still wake up in the middle of the night, out of habit, expecting to see that glow from her phone. But the room stays dark now. Completely silent. Like nothing ever existed there at all. And somehow, that silence is louder than anything she ever said.
The end.